Catherine, what's this all about?
Right. So last week we saw Goldman had downgraded a couple of Chinese banks, just concerns about their margins, especially about their sort of exposure to government loans. And so, this was fairly innocuous when it came out. And over the last couple of days, it's really created somewhat of a media storm of sorts. We saw, a very rare rebuke from upstate media. And yesterday, China Merchants Bank even came out to clarify to their investors to say that this was overdone, and the report was too bearish. It really sort of highlights this problem that's happening right now. Chinese equities are not doing great. They're among some of the worst in the world. There's very little upside, and there's a lot of concerted efforts to try to ensure that this sort of negative talk and this sort of pessimism, it sort of remains out of headlines to get people kind of less concerned. Whether that works or not, well, the market hasn't been doing so great since then. So far, so not.
Well, the deflationary figures out this week certainly don't help. The recovery looking like it's not picking up steam. So I'm kind of curious, is this going to feed over into the China trade today? And will the steps announced to help shore up the property market, we've heard both sides, that won't do that much. Some people thinking maybe it'll do a little more. Will that offset any of this?
So, this is probably a two-pronged look at this. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of skepticism over this announcement about easing, some property measures. The measures aren't necessarily new. They're not earth-shattering. They're not, anything that is probably marginal from what it's been announced before. But you have to understand that in the last couple of months, the market has really built up this expectation that this big bang is going to come, this big stimulus package that's going to be all-encompassing. It's really going to lift this market around. And so, this announcement, there is a little bit of hope built in that this is going to lead to something bigger, right? Like, this in itself is probably not it. And I'm probably, I think that there's going to be a lot more pessimism that's coming through. But if it does build into this big package that we've yet to be announced, but people are still hoping for, then that might actually, change things.